Hi everyone, you are speaking to Mr. Nakedi. I'm going to be touching on question 1, which is on paper 1, mathematics, grade 11. This was the paper that was written last year in the Eastern Cape province. Hopefully I will tap into question 2, but for now let's stick to question 1 because I don't want the video to be too long. So before I start doing this, I'll suggest that you try to do this on your own as you're writing in a few days. So try to write this on your own, and then as you go on, you'll mark for yourself and check your mistake. Are we clear on that one? Good. So now we are going to do question 1. Question 1, keyword there, it's there for us. They say solve for x. So we're going to solve for x. So let's do that. On 1.1.1, use this one rather. I'm having x squared minus 3x equals to 0. That is the question, right? So it's only 2 marks, so it means there isn't much that you can do here. Firstly, I will see if it's solved for x, guys. I know I need to factorize. So my factorize needs to be at the top. I need to know how to factorize. And then because of it's equals to 0, it's already in standard form. So I don't have to do much because it's equals to 0. It's already in standard form. So I'm going to take x out as a common factor. I have 2 x's. I'm taking 1. I'm left with only 1x minus 3x, taking 1x, I'm left with minus 3 equals to 0. Therefore, x is 0 or x minus 3 equals to 0. Therefore, or x equals to 3. So those are my 2 x values that I got there. 1.1.2, I have x, 3x plus 1 equals to 5. When I look at this question, I can note that it is not in standard form. So I cannot go and say x is equals to 5 or 3x plus 1 equals to 5. This I cannot do. Then that's what most of the learners like to do. We cannot do that if this number 5 is not equals to 0. Are we clear on that one? So please, that is very illegal if you do this. So we cannot do that. We need to put this equation in a standard form. So I have to distribute this x here and also there. Are we clear? Now I'm going to have 3x squared plus x equals to 5. Then this is 3x squared plus x. Take the 5 this side. It's negative 5 equals to 0. Now, this question was supposed to say, round your answer to 2 decimal places. So you know already you have to use a quadratic formula because of how are we going to determine factors of minus 5 that can give us 1 with the factors of, it's a lot. So we just say, okay, A, it's 3, B is 1, C equals to negative 5. You are in grade 11, and then this is the only year you learned about this quadratic formula. So expect a question of this kind. So this is going to be x equals to minus b plus minus the square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Therefore, x equals to, then this will be minus 1 plus or minus the square root 1 squared, b squared minus 4, 1, c is negative 5 over 2 times 3, a, it's 3, sorry, that's supposed to be 3. A, it's 3, it says negative 5, yeah. Therefore, x then becomes, punch that in your calculator, this is minus 1 plus the square root 1 squared minus 4, 3 minus 5 over 2 times 3. You get x equals to 1,14 or x equals to negative 1,47. You are done. Next question is 1.1.3. I'm having 2x squared minus 5x plus 3 is less than 0. So this is an inequality. So I need critical points. We're not solving for x, we need critical points. So this one I don't need to use my quadratic. I can just go and use the factors, but if you want, you can go and use the quadratic formula again. But this is 2xx. This will be 316. So this will be 3 minus. This will be 2x minus 3. And then x minus 1 is less than 0. But if you want to avoid this, just go to your formula. You can use this like we did there. And then you'll get your x. That will be your critical point. So this is 2x equals to 3 divided by 2, 2x equals to 1,5. Or x minus 1 is 0, x equals to 1. So those are the two critical points that you'll have, and then now you need to draw your graph. This is 1 and then 1.5. Right? So this is a positive, this is positive, so my parabola is going to face up like that. This, it's positive parabola here, it's negative here, and then it's positive there. So I go back to my question. My question says less than. So it means this is where my answer is going to be. And then there's no or here because of it's joined. It's from 1 to 1,5. It's not this and that. It's just joined. So my answer is going to be 1 is less than x, which is less than 1/5. Are we clear on that one? That becomes your answer. Please don't be that person that when they get to inequality, they make it as if it's solved for x. They forget about this, make this equals to, and then they solved. They solve. It's not gonna work. You need to test your reason. We need to see this at least. Good. Let's go to 1.1.4. 1.1.4, it's the third, x plus 2 thirds, x minus 1. So here I would have loved to remove the 2, but I cannot do that because if I do that, I'm going to invert a fraction that side. If it was like the root of x plus 2 equals to x minus 1, I would take this that side, then it becomes minus, but that is not the case. So if it's like this, I'm just going to continue and square both sides. When I square both sides, people are always forgetting to square the 2 there. You need to, the squared exponent must affect this, must also affect that. So this will be 4, open bracket, x plus 2, because remember the square root will remove the squared, or the squared will remove the square root, equals to x squared minus 2x plus 2. Remember this is the same as x minus 1, so owner gave you x squared, this minus x plus 1 plus 1. You see I made a mistake here, this is supposed to be plus 1, good. Then this is x squared, yes, then it will give you that. So it's important that we don't always use our head. We try to see where we got those answers. So this is 4x plus 8 equals to x squared minus 2x plus 1. Then this is going to be x squared minus 2x minus 4x plus 1 minus 8 equals to 0. This is x squared minus 6x minus 7 equals to 0. X minus 7, x plus 1 equals to 0. Remember here, you are always welcome to use your quadratic if you don't want to do the step of factors again. Therefore, x minus 7 equals to 0, or x equals to, x plus 1 equals to 0, x equals to 7, or x equals to negative 1. And then we go to 1.2. Simultaneously, we need to solve for x and y. Okay, so simultaneous equation, I'm having x plus 3y equals to 2. This will be my first equation. I'm also having x squared minus 3xy equals to 4. This will be my second equation. Now, in simultaneous equation, to form the third equation, we need to look between this equation and then this equation. Which one is less complicated? Okay, I can see that the first one is less complicated, so I will stick to that one. So it's x plus 3y equals to 2. Once I'm here, I check between x and y, who's more complicated? The x has no 1 next to it. This person has no 1 next to them. This one has 3y, the 3. So between the x and the y, the x is not complicated. So it's easy to just put the x alone. So this is going to be x equals to 2 minus 3y. Then this will be my third equation. I have already used, I'm going to sub equation 3 into, I need to decide between equation 1 and equation 2, which one I'm going to use. I already used equation 1, so I cannot sub in equation 1. So I have to swap in equation 2. Are we clear? So I'm taking this x to that equation. So now I'm going to have, where I see x, I put there, this is 2 minus 3y for this one, squared minus 3, 2 minus 3y, and then I have y equals to 4. Then this will be 2 minus 3y, 2 minus 3y, minus 3y, 2 minus 3y equals to 4. This will then be 4, this, again, this and that will be minus 6y, and then minus 6y is minus 12y. This and this will be plus 9y squared. Then minus 6y plus 9y squared equals to 4. Are we clear on that one? Now I'm going to have this one, and this one will give me 18. This will be 18y squared. This one and this one will give you minus 18y. And then the 4 minus 4 will give me 0. Because this 4 is positive this side, this one is negative. Once this one goes this side, it will be negative. Then they will cancel one another. I hope we are clear on that one. Good. Now, take from here, we are coming here. I'm taking y here as a common because my equation is in standard form, so I'm allowed to do that. Y out as a common factor. I can also take 18 because it's there, so 18y. I'll be left with y minus 1 equals to 0. 18y equals to 0, or y minus 1 equals to 0. Divide by 18y is 0, or y is 1. Remember, this is in standard form, so I'm very allowed to do that. If it's equals to 0, you're allowed to do that. But if it's not, you need to put it first in standard form. Then once I got my y, I go back to equation 3. We're going back to equation 3. Equation 3 was x equals to 2 minus 3y, isn't it? So if y is 0, it means x is going to be 2 minus 3 times 0. And then if y is 1, it means x is going to be 2 minus 3 times 1. Therefore, x here will be 2, or x will then be 2 minus 3, which is negative 1. So you have solved simultaneously for both your equations. So yeah, that's how it looks. And then now we're supposed to go to, sorry about that. Yeah, we are back 1.3. So we are now in 1.3. It says given x minus 3 squared equals to p squared minus 4. Determine the values of p for which the roots will be non-real. we need to always remember when are we using what when they talk about real, non-real, when are we using what when they talk about this and that. Okay. So firstly, what I can do here is to work out I can work out this thing out to a standard form. Let's take that to a standard form. Let's take it to a standard form. So that will be x minus 3 equals to p squared minus 4. Then that will then be x squared minus 6x plus 9 equals to p squared minus 4. Right? And then from there, I'm going to have x squared minus 6x plus 9 minus p squared plus 4 equals to 0. So this is going to be x squared minus 6x plus 13 minus p squared equals to 0. So we know that for non-real, the discriminant must be less than 0. This is for non-real. Let me just on the side here make a table for you. If it's real, we know this will be greater equals to 0. If it will have equal roots, the discriminant must be equals to 0. Unequal roots, the discriminant must be bigger than 0. Okay. If you want it to be irrational, it must have, the discriminant must be a perfect square. Irrational, this will not be a perfect square. So if you can know that, you'll be good to know, you'll be good to go to answer any question relating to nature of the roots. So the question that we're answering, it said non-real, so it's less than 0. We know discriminant, it's b squared minus 4ac must be less than 0. That is your discriminant, right? It's that part on your quadratic where it's b squared minus 4ac. You remember that part. So this part underneath represents our discriminant. So now a now a is 1, b is negative 6, and then c it's the constant, which will be 13 minus p squared. So this will be minus 6 squared minus 4. A it's 1, and then c it's 13 minus p squared must be less than 0. Minus 6 squared, it's 36. Minus 4 times that will give me minus 52 plus 4p squared must be less than 0. And then from there we come in here. This is, let me start with the p. 4p squared, 36 minus 52. 36 minus 52. I think it's 16. You get negative 16 is less than 0. Remember now it's in standard form, so I can factorize. This will then be 2p plus 4, 2p minus 4, difference of 2 squares. Okay. Therefore, critical points will then be 2p. Remember, this is an inequality, equals to minus 4, 2, 2. P equals to minus 2, or p equals to 2. Okay, so this will then be minus 2 and 2, and then we're having this, and then get plus minus plus. Remember, it's less than, so minus, squarely minus, I think I came. So the answer will be minus 2 is less than p, which is less than 2. So any value between this, if p becomes that, and then I punch it in, it means I'm going to get a negative number, which will make this whole thing to be non-real. So yeah, the video is already long, so I think I'm going to end here in question 1, then probably do question 2 in the next video. Thank you.